You're All a Nightmare by I Wanna Be a Crow. Read by My Lost and Found. Summary. Midoriya was just trying to listen to his class, but the All for One users start planning to throw Bakugou out of the window. It isn't uncommon to hear people talking about ghosts. For some, it's a want to communicate with them, to learn, to have the kind of knowledge at their fingertips. For others, it can be quite the opposite. They fear the kind of unknown that ghosts bring. Even Midoriya could remember the times where he wished he could see ghosts, even if it was just so he wouldn't be considered quirkless, so he could find some sort of comfort in somebody. Looking back now, it definitely wasn't as fun as he thought it would have been. Midoriya was just trying to listen to Aizawa's lesson, but the other users didn't seem to get the memo. I do not understand a single thing this man is saying. Fifth tries to whisper to the others, and absolutely fails. I think it's something about the Quirk Wars. Seventh actually manages to whisper back to him. I don't remember this happening, though. Fifth mutters into his hand while staring at the board. What do you mean, you don't remember? You were literally there! Second yells at the bewildered ghosts. Bold of you to assume I kept up with the news back then. He shoots back as Second scoffs. That implies you actually keep up with the news now, which you don't, Sixth says back. Wow, so apparently this is nag on fifth time now. He rolls his eyes at the two of them. It's always nag on fifth time when you can't even remember being in a literal war. Hey, it was a one-time thing. Sixth rolls his eyes. A one-time thing that happened not even a minute ago. I cannot believe you are my mentor. Midoriya sighs as he tries to tune out the ghosts arguing. They've been doing this every day for the past month without fail. Even though he can still pass the class with their arguing, it doesn't make them any less distracting. First voice kicks Midoriya out of his thoughts and back into the conversation. I think we should yeet that demon child. What does that even mean? Sixth hisses while batting at Midoriya's hair. Midoriya tries to hide his laughter at the sudden outburst in a series of coughs, but by the looks of his classmates' faces and the glare from his teacher, it wasn't very convincing. With his disaster of a personality, I think it would be funny to see him go flying. First continues without even sparing Midoriya a glance. I think that's the best idea you've ever had. Unperturbed by First's hey, he calls out to Seventh. Hey, Shimura, I am not using my quirk on a child just so you can throw him out a window. She deadpans. I didn't even think of throwing him out a window. Thank you for your suggestions. Six smiles as the other ghosts snicker at their exchange. We could still throw him even without using her quirk, though. Third cuts in. It would make it a bit more difficult to actually get him off the ground, though. Seventh just sighs and shakes her head at them. I think that throwing Second out a window would work just fine, though. His ugly face is similar enough that he could pass off as the same person. Sixth interjects. You're ugly! Meh, wouldn't break the window on his way out, though. The ghosts go back to quiet thought, while Second seethes from his corner. What if we just use Fifth's quirk to throw him out the window? Fourth suggests. Nah, that could be pointed back to Ninth, and I don't want him getting in trouble for us. At the mention of his name, Midoriya listens in again. What if we just don't throw Kachan out the window? Midoriya whispers. That's not an option. He's annoying. Third says. Midoriya rolls his eyes and continues to listen to these god-awful people scheme. What if we convince that one purple kid to mind control him so he jumps out the window? Fourth suggests as Second glares at him. How would we even go about doing that? Second snaps at him. We could get a Ouija board. And then what? We just ask him to throw him out a window? That is exactly what they did. After about a day of pleading and begging from the group, Midoriya finally cracks and buys them their Ouija board. Midoriya was just setting it up for them all in the common room when Ashido and Kaminari walk in. Hey, Mido! Whoa! What's that for? Ghosts, he answers without much thought. Well, I figured as much. She laughs. But why exactly are you trying to contact them in the first place? Kaminari asks. Midoriya just sighs at the mess that has already started to form. I'm setting it up for Shinso. I'm not actually going to use it myself, though. Midoriya stands up and begins to head for the door. Sounds fun! Mind if we stay to watch? Ashido asks. I don't think he'd mind. Just let him do most of the talking. With that, Midoriya heads for Shinso's room. Midoriya drags Shinso into the common room after explaining to see a few more people there than before. He can feel the headache already beginning in his eyes as he takes a seat on the couch beside Shinso. So I just asked them anything, Shinso asks. Anything, he confirms. Is there anyone here with us? The planchette slowly slides over to the yes corner. There was a chorus of gasps from the students surrounding them. Well then, why are you here? To his classmates' horror, the planchette seems to grow a bit more confident as it starts spelling Y-O-U. It spells out. Well, that's not ominous in the slightest. Shinso, completely unfazed, says to the board. Ask them what they want you for, Sero says from the crowd. The planchette doesn't need any more prompting from them, as it spells out, justice. By now, the ghosts are practically howling with laughter at their classmates' reactions. Justice? Justice for what? The boy. Midoriya groans as he puts his face in his hands, while Shimura pats him on the back while trying to stifle her own laughter. You're gonna need to be more specific than that. That could mean anything. Shinso seemingly says to the air. The planchette flies over the board as multiple ghosts try to take control of it at the same time. Throw explosion out of the window. This earns a few giggles from the surrounding students. Explosions? Do you mean Bakugou? The planchette doesn't hesitate as it slides over to the yes corner. Are you gonna tell me why? Shinso seems utterly confused by this development, which is fair. It's not every day ghosts ask you to throw one of your classmates out the window for them. The planchette actually seems to hesitate for once before sliding over to the no corner. Midoriya sends a glare at the ghosts, which only sends them back into their laughing fit. Just so I understand fully, you want me to brainwash one of my classmates to jump out of the window? The planchette slides over to yes. Sounds fun. I'm in. The ghosts celebrate their success as his classmates stare at the board. The following day, the ghosts and his classmates are absolutely silent as they wait through their classes. In the very last class of the day, Shinso walks up to Bakugou. A portion of the class stop to stare as Bakugou and Shinso argue for a moment before Bakugou stands up from his chair and steps towards the window and promptly throws himself out of it. The impact from throwing himself into the glass wakes Bakugou from Shinso's control, and he starts screaming various swears and insults at Shinso, who ignores him and heads back to his seat. The ghosts are nearly in tears from their laughter. Fifth even manages to fall and phase through the floor, which only serves to increase their laughter by tenfold. Even though some of his classmates join in on the laughing, which only serves to annoy both Aizawa and Bakugou, Bakugou successfully manages to get himself back in the classroom, all while continuing to scream at Shinso, and send off small explosions while he barely even spares him a second glance. Notes: we don't want to do anything that could get anyone in trouble. Proceeds to use Shinso to throw Bakugou out of the window. Yeah. No one's in trouble. Don't worry about it.